Rosen, you are recognized for your questions.
Well, thank you, Chairman Peters, Ranking Member Portman, and I especially want to thank the nominees for being here today, and of course, always for your willingness to serve. And I want to focus a little bit on our federal IT issues that we have, because OPM's role in recruiting federal workers is just so important. And one of this committee's most important areas of focus is recruiting and retaining high quality federal workforce, especially in the areas of IT, of cybersecurity, other science and technology fields, and OPM has a really important role to play here. So Chairman Peters, of course, referenced the skills gap across the federal government, and in particular, the Government Accountability Office found that OPM had missed opportunities to better use data that would improve our hiring practices. So Ms. Boyd, does the Inspector General have a role to play in ensuring that OPM improves its practices for, of course, collecting data, using that data to improve hiring, recruitment, and really important issue, retaining those federal employees? And if confirmed, how would you hold OPM accountable for its efforts to enhance the federal IT workforce, which we know we so sorely need?
Senator, thank you for the opportunity to address this issue. It is an area of need that the OPM OIG has identified as a part of the top management challenges that the OIG issued. IT was one of the top 4 challenges, and contained within that was the challenges that OPM faces with skills gaps related to cybersecurity. It's an area where the OIG has pointed out that the new Chief Information Officer at OPM has said that this would be a priority, as well as that of the OPM Director. If confirmed, I would work with the OIG to ensure that the office continues to press, that I continue to press OPM to address this issue, because if there aren't the staff in place, if there aren't employees to make the changes that are needed to protect OPM sensitive information, if they aren't there, then it won't get done. And this really is it's a critical area, because not only are there gaps, but it's also that staff that are hired don't always stay for long periods of time. So this is a really important issue, and one that I will work on if confirmed.
Well, I appreciate, because as Ranking Member Portman mentioned, IT modernization, of course, goes hand in hand. You need the trained workers, skilled workers to do the job, but you also have to improve your IT systems. Generally, that needs all kinds of folks. So last month, the Government Accountability Office issued a report that examined OPM's modernization of its financial system. In particular, GAO found that OPM has not adopted leading practices for estimating costs and schedule or ensuring cybersecurity. So again, Ms. Boyd, in your current role on the House Oversight Committee, I'm sure you know that IT modernization and cybersecurity in general are issues across all federal agencies. And so what is your understanding of OPM's progress at modernizing its legacy IT systems? And if confirmed to this role, be charged with preventing fraud, waste, and abuse, how would you ensure that OPM's efforts to modernize its IT systems are effective and achieving the cost savings that we desire?
Thank you, Senator. Vigilant oversight of OPM's IT modernization efforts is one of my top priorities if confirmed. The GAO report that just came out was very concerning and identified a number of very serious problems. OPM, I know, is taking advantage of the Technology Modernization Fund, and as OPM implements its modernization efforts, it's really critical that the OIG conduct very strong oversight. And so that's an area, if confirmed, I would like to work with the OIG on to make sure that the office is being proactive in really, making the recommendations that OPM needs and identifying weaknesses, so that as OPM is implementing these modernization efforts, that there's a really critical eye on it, and it's not like at the end GAO's already identified that the agency's over cost and overtime. So just making sure that we're not getting to the end and then identifying a bunch of problems, but rather helping the agency as it goes to really be using taxpayer dollars wisely, protecting the information that OPM holds, and ensuring that that the functions are working well.
Well, thank you. I want to continue on this vein because excuse me, I want to talk about the importance of Senate confirmation because Chairman Peters referenced earlier, Ms. Boyd, you are nominated to a position that's been filled by an acting inspector general since 2016. It's 2022. I think we've been waiting a long time, and this calls to mind the hearing we just had in this committee last week about federal vacancies and the impact on government services when important federal government positions don't have Senate confirmed leaders. But I want to build again on this theme of IT modernization, our workforce, cybersecurity, some of the things Senator Carper just before me mentioned, and others. When you don't have a Senate confirmed position, we don't have someone who knows that they're going to be in leadership. How is the impact on morale for the federal government employees? We know that's an issue for both recruiting and retaining workforce. And what impact do you think it has really on workforce development, your short and your long-term planning, the projects on oversight implementation in this space, and what's lacking because we haven't had a Senate confirmed nominee for so long? How are we going to kind of bridge that multi-year gap now?
Thank you, Senator. This is, a really great question because vacancies really can have an impact. That's something that inspectors general have been testifying to Congress for many years, that IG vacancies can impact the morale of an office. I referenced earlier, and I want to emphasize that everything I've seen, the OIG is performing at the highest level. But if confirmed, I would like to really work with the staff to ensure that the OIG has the tools that it needs to really be, leading with practices that, help it identify waste, fraud, and abuse. If the OIG itself has outdated systems, it will make it challenging to conduct appropriate oversight of OPM. So really working with the staff to ensure that the OIG itself has the best systems in place.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you being here today. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Rosen.